Hello students, so see one more question for journal proper. Consider the following balances in the books of Vasu Limited as on 1st January 2018. These are some balances given, and what is asked to prepare? Prepare a journal proper as on 1st Jan 2018, ascertain capital. So now we have to draw journal proper in the same way. Journal proper, in the date column you will write down year 2018. It's 1st January. So now here first you will write down all assets and then all liabilities. So first of all you should understand what is meant by asset and then liabilities. So asset means property of every description owned, possessed by the business and having monetary value is known as asset. And liability means debts payable by the business in the future in the form of money or goods for the benefit received by the business unit, like bank overdraft, creditors, they are known as liabilities. So here we have to write down all assets and their amount on the debit column, and then liabilities amount on the credit column. So here first thing is given, here first amount is given for the loan from bank. Now the loan from bank, here you should first of all you should understand what is loan from bank, whether it is asset or liability, because if you do mistake here in the first step itself by writing loan from bank on the asset side for the asset amount on the debit side, means your question will be wrong, because when we are taking loan from the bank, that means debts on the form of loan, it is payable by the business in future to the bank. So it is loan from bank is liability. So after loan what is given? Plant and machinery. So plant and machinery is an asset. So you will write down first plant and machinery and all assets having debit balance. So write amount in debit column. After plant and machinery what is given? Cash in hand. So it is again an asset. So cash in hand 80,000. Okay, in folio you will write down cash book. Then cash at bank 175,000. In this way you will write down all assets first. So all assets we have written one by one: plant and machinery, cash in hand, cash at bank, trade debtors and stock. Okay, for trade debtors it is sales ledger, for cash and bank cash book, and for others general ledger. Don't forget to write down amount in the debit column, debit amount column for the asset having debit balance. Then what is left with? There are two items left: loan from bank and creditors. From the balances given over here, loan from bank and trade creditors, so both are liabilities. So for both liabilities, balance is on credit side. So loan from bank 425,000, trade creditors 295,000. Now the difference between the both will be capital, as we calculated in our last question. In the same way here we will calculate capital. Capital means assets minus liabilities. So see, first take all assets, then liabilities. For capital we have to minus liabilities from assets. So assets here, plant and machinery, cash, bank, debtors and stock. So 330,000 for plant and machinery plus cash 80,000. So all assets total is 1,075,000. Liabilities, from here we took loan from bank and trade creditors 425 and 295,000. Total is 720,000. So assets minus liability. So 1,075,000 minus 720,000. So capital is 355,000. That capital we will write down here. Capital amount is, here write down general ledger, capital amount is 355,000. Right on the credit side, Okay, capital having credit balance. So it's so simple. See students, journal proper for opening balances. Write down assets on the debit side here, debit amount. Liabilities, for liabilities write down amount on the credit side, and then at the end write down narration here being opening assets and liabilities. After writing narration, make total of debit column, debit amount column and credit amount column. So 1,075,000 both side. Okay students, so in this way we prepared journal proper here, and also we ascertain capital by this making this working note, capital equal to assets minus liabilities, and we use that amount of capital here in the journal proper as well. One more thing to remember student, for debtors word can come like account receivable. Account receivable. Account receivable means also debtors, that is assets. So remember that word. And for creditors it will be accounts payable, and that is your liability. Okay, so thank you students.